Let's start with a truth that might challenge everything you've been taught. Success doesn't begin with motivation. It begins with action. For years, we've been told we need to feel ready before we start. We wait for inspiration to strike, for the timing to be perfect, or for a burst of motivation to fuel us forward. But here's the harsh reality. That moment rarely comes. The longer we wait to feel ready, the more we delay our progress. The truth is, action is the trigger, not the reward. If you've ever sat staring at a blank screen, waiting for the right words to come, or circled the gym parking lot trying to convince yourself to go in, you already know this struggle. We tell ourselves we'll start tomorrow, or when things settle down, or when we feel more confident. But that perfect moment we're waiting for? It's a fantasy. The reality is simple and powerful. Action precedes motivation. The very thing you're waiting for is created by doing the work. Take the example of a young man with big dreams of financial success. He read every book, watched every video, created elaborate plans, and analyzed every possible scenario. He kept telling himself, "Once I feel confident, I'll take the leap." But the confidence never came, because confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you build step by step, through experience. You don't think your way into success. You move your way into it. Think of Thomas Edison. Do you think he waited for a surge of motivation before attempting to invent the light bulb? He failed over 1,000 times. But he didn't wait, he acted. Each failure wasn't a signal to stop. It was a step forward. Or consider Henry Ford, who didn't wait until the auto industry was proven. He acted despite skepticism, and his actions shaped the modern world. These men didn't wait for motivation. They moved in spite of its absence. That's what made them different. That's what made them successful. Action has a unique power. The moment you begin, even if it's a small, imperfect step, you shift your energy. You go from stuck to moving, from overwhelmed to engaged. And as you keep moving, something incredible happens. Motivation shows up. Confidence grows. Momentum builds. Think about the times you've forced yourself to start a dreaded task. Once you got going, it wasn't nearly as bad as you thought. That's the power of action. It clears the fog, creates clarity, and builds belief. So if you're waiting to feel ready, stop. You're not supposed to feel ready. You're supposed to start. The first step is always the hardest. But once you take it, the next step gets easier. Then the next. And before you know it, you're in motion. And motion changes everything. Don't let the myth of motivation hold you back. Don't wait for clarity, confidence, or the perfect conditions. Start where you are, with what you have, and take the first step. Because movement, not mindset, is what sets success in motion. And the moment you act, you begin to change everything. Fear. It's the invisible wall that stands between you and everything you want. It's the voice in your head whispering, "What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough?" And if you listen to it, if you let it take the driver's seat, you'll stay stuck, watching life pass you by while your dreams collect dust. But here's what you need to understand. Fear is not the enemy. Inaction is. Most of the time, what we're afraid of never actually happens. And even if it does, it's rarely as bad as we imagined. But the mind is powerful. It will magnify fear the longer you hesitate. The more you wait, the stronger the fear becomes. It feeds on stillness. It thrives in delay. But fear cannot survive direct confrontation. The moment you take action, even the smallest step, fear starts to lose its grip. That's because courage isn't about being fearless. It's about acting despite fear. Think of any time you did something that scared you. Maybe a job interview, a public speech, a difficult conversation. You probably felt anxious beforehand, but once you were in it, once you acted, the fear began to shrink. That's because fear is often worst in our imagination. Reality is far less intimidating. There's a powerful saying, "Feel the fear and do it anyway." That's not just a catchy phrase, it's a life principle. Waiting to feel brave is like waiting for rain in the desert. You have to move first. The bravery comes after. Let's talk about a man named Edwin C. Barnes. He didn't have money, connections, or status. But he had a vision. He wanted to work with Thomas Edison. Most people would have talked themselves out of it. Who am I to approach someone like Edison? What if I get rejected? But not Barnes. He took action. He hopped on a freight train and showed up at Edison's office. He didn't wait for an invitation. He didn't wait for certainty. He simply declared, "I'm going to be your business partner." Edison didn't laugh him out of the room, but he didn't offer him a partnership either. Instead, he gave him a low-level job. But Barnes kept showing up, learning, preparing, and when the opportunity came, he seized it. He became Edison's partner, just as he said he would. That's the power of acting in spite of fear. Fear wants to keep you safe. But safe isn't where growth happens. Safe isn't where your dreams live. Growth demands discomfort. It demands risk. But what it gives in return, confidence, wisdom, strength, is worth every bit of that fear. And here's the truth. You're far more capable than you give yourself credit for. You can handle more than you think. Most failures are not final. Most mistakes can be fixed. And even when things go wrong, they teach you something invaluable. Fear is like a fog. It looks dense from a distance, but the moment you step into it, it begins to clear. The only way to get past it is to move through it. So stop waiting. Stop rehearsing worst-case scenarios in your head. Take action, especially when you feel afraid, because each step you take builds courage. And eventually, what once seemed terrifying becomes routine. Remember, fear has power only if you let it stop you. When you choose to act, fear loses its voice. The only way to beat fear is to move. Not later. Not tomorrow. Now. We've all been there. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. Then tomorrow turns into next week. Next week becomes next month. Before you know it, a whole year has passed, and that goal, that dream, remains untouched. This is procrastination. It's silent, sneaky, and dangerous. It doesn't shout. It whispers. It pretends to be planning research or waiting for the right time. But really, it's just delay. And delay steals progress. Let's be clear. Procrastination isn't about time. It's about action. We think we're waiting for the perfect moment, but we're really avoiding discomfort. We don't want to feel uncertain, overwhelmed, or scared of failing. So we put things off. Each time we do, we make the task seem harder than it actually is. But here's the truth. The longer you wait, the heavier the task feels. The task doesn't change, but your resistance to it grows. The only way out is through. So how do you break this cycle? Start small. Lower the barrier. One of the best tools is the 5-minute rule. Commit to working on a task for just 5 minutes. That's it. No pressure to finish. Just start. Often, those 5 minutes turn into 15, then 30, and then completion. Why? Because action builds momentum, and momentum beats procrastination. Think about it. The hardest part of any task is starting. Once you're moving, it gets easier. Your mind focuses. Your body finds its rhythm, and what felt impossible becomes manageable. But procrastination isn't just internal. It's fueled by the world around you. Distractions are everywhere. Social media, notifications, emails, and endless entertainment. If you don't take control of your environment, it will control you. Reclaim your time by setting clear boundaries. Turn off notifications. Set specific time blocks for focused work. Keep your workspace organized and free of distractions. Design your environment for productivity, not passivity. Discipline is the cure for procrastination. It means showing up even when you don't feel like it. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. One messy, imperfect action is always more powerful than a perfect plan that never gets executed. Accountability is helpful too. Share your goals with someone. Track your progress. Write things down. When you make your intentions known, they become real. You add pressure. And pressure, when applied correctly, boosts performance. Here's a hard truth. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they never start. Or they start and stop. Or they only act when conditions are perfect. But success doesn't wait for perfect. It rewards those who keep going. If you want to break free from procrastination, make a decision. Start now. Not tomorrow. Not later. Right now. Do something. Anything. A small step forward is far better than standing still. Your time is your most valuable resource. You don't get it back. You don't get another chance at today. So don't let procrastination steal it from you. The life you want is built in the moments you choose to act. Especially when it's tough. Especially when it's inconvenient. Especially when you don't feel like it. Destroy procrastination. Take control. Start now. Discipline often gets a bad name. People link it to restriction, pressure, or even punishment. But in reality, discipline brings freedom. It's not about forcing yourself to suffer. It's about training yourself to succeed. It forms the base of every goal, accomplishment, and meaningful change. When you have discipline, you don't have to wait for motivation. You take action whether you feel like it or not. This is what distinguishes achievers from dreamers. Discipline transforms intentions into actions, and actions into results. Think of discipline as a muscle. It doesn't develop overnight. It grows over time through repetition, consistency, and commitment. Just like physical strength, the more you train it, the stronger it becomes. Let's be honest, starting is tough. The first time you resist comfort, the first time you wake up early when you crave more sleep, or the first time you push through a workout when you want to quit, it feels uncomfortable. But this discomfort isn't your enemy. It's a sign that you're growing. Every time you push through when it's hard, you show yourself something powerful. You can handle tough things. You build a kind of self-trust that no one can take away. That trust builds confidence, and confidence creates momentum. Self-discipline is more than just productivity. It's about respect for yourself. It means choosing long-term benefits over short-term pleasure. It means saying, I matter enough to keep my promises to myself. You won't always feel like being disciplined. That's normal. But discipline doesn't depend on feelings. It's rooted in commitment. It means putting in the work when no one's watching. It means choosing the stairs when the elevator is easier. It means finishing what you start. Start small. You don't need to change your life in a day. Begin with one promise. Wake up at a set time. Drink water before coffee. Exercise for 15 minutes. Read one chapter a day. It's not about the size of the task. It's about following through. Each completed task supports the kind of person you want to be. Over time, these small actions build up. What felt difficult becomes easy. What once needed effort becomes your new normal. This is where change happens. Not in huge, dramatic moments, but in quiet, consistent ones. Discipline also asks you to reduce friction in your life. If social media distracts you, delete the app. If your phone pulls your attention, put it in another room. If unhealthy foods tempt you, don't keep them at home. Create an environment that helps your goals, not hinders them. You are always training your brain. Every time you give in to a distraction, you strengthen the habit of quitting. But every time you push through, you strengthen the habit of succeeding. Discipline doesn't promise instant success, but it ensures progress. And progress is where confidence grows. Anyone can start something when they're excited, but only those with discipline finish when the excitement fades. That's the reality. That's the advantage. That's what sets the ordinary apart from the unstoppable. So build it. One day at a time. One choice at a time. Keep showing up. And one day you'll look back and realize discipline didn't hold you back. It set you free. Pain is something we all experience. It's a part of life, whether we like it or not. What most people don't realize is this. Pain can be your greatest teacher or your biggest excuse. The choice is yours. You can let pain break you, or you can let it build you. At some point, life will hit you hard. You'll face setbacks, failures, rejection, and loss. You'll feel frustrated, overwhelmed, and maybe even hopeless. In that moment, you'll have a decision to make. Will this define me or refine me? The most successful people in the world didn't get where they are by avoiding pain. They got there by using it. They turned their struggles into strength, their heartbreak into hunger, and their losses into lessons. Pain is not the end. It's the beginning. It's the moment when everything feels uncertain that you're actually given a chance to grow. You may not see it at first. Pain doesn't feel like a gift when you're in the middle of it. But looking back, you'll often realize that your most painful moments also shaped you the most. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in discomfort. Pain is the ultimate discomfort. But if you're willing to lean into it instead of running away, you'll uncover a deep well of power inside you that you didn't even know was there. Every time life knocks you down and you get back up, you become stronger. Every time you keep going when it would be easier to quit, you build resilience. That's how warriors are made. Not in calm, easy moments, but in the fire. Think of people like Oprah Winfrey, who rose from poverty and trauma to become one of the most influential women in the world. Or J.K. Rowling, who battled depression and rejection before creating one of the most beloved stories of all time. They didn't let their pain define them. They used it. The question is, will you do the same? Pain can be a powerful motivator if you frame it correctly. You can use it to remind yourself of what you never want to return to. Let it fuel your hunger to rise above, build a better life, and never feel that helpless again. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this teaching me? Shift the focus. Reclaim the power. Don't let pain become a dead end. Make it a turning point. You have to stop running from discomfort. Stop numbing it. Stop hiding from it. On the other side of pain is transformation. The only way to get to the other side is to go through it. The truth is, pain doesn't last forever. But the strength you gain from facing it, that stays with you for life. So the next time pain shows up, don't shrink. Stand up. Lean in. Use it. Let it light a fire in you that comfort never could. Let it push you harder, make you sharper, and turn you into someone unshakable. The most powerful version of you is created in the moments when you thought you couldn't go on, but did anyway. When you look back, you won't remember the pain. You'll remember what it made you become. If you don't know where you're going, how will you ever get there? It seems obvious, but this is where everyone gets stuck. They claim to want something like, I want to be successful, or I want to be happier. And those are not specific enough. Success and happiness are interpretations, and until you have a clear destination, you're just floating aimlessly. Goals provide you with direction. They make indistinct wishes real. Real in terms of something you can measure, monitor, and attain. Without them, your energy is dissipated. You work diligently without making progress. You remain busy without going anywhere. It's like getting in a car and taking a drive without a map. You'll consume fuel, travel distance, perhaps even enjoy the ride. But you won't get anywhere significant. Goals are the map. They let you know what's important, what to prioritize, and what to ignore. But having a goal is not simply putting down a desire. It takes specificity. Instead of, I want to get healthy, say, I want to lose 10 pounds in 90 days by exercising 4 times per week and eating clean. That's specific. That's something you can act on. That provides you with a course. Ask yourself the following questions. What do I really want? Why do I want it? When do I want to get it? How will I track my progress? What is the first small step I can take today? After you make your goals clear, divide them. A huge goal seems daunting. But if you divide it into daily or weekly steps, it won't seem so big. You don't have to conquer the entire mountain today. You just have to take the next step. For example, your dream is to begin a business. That is big. But your first week action could be to scope out your niche. Week 2, create a straightforward business plan. Week 3, buy a domain name. Building it one step at a time, it starts to seem real. And here's a secret. You don't have to be ready. Everyone else is waiting for the planets to align. But clarity does not necessarily precede action. It often follows from it. Now, be real about your progress. Measure it. Consider what is and isn't working. Course correct as necessary. Success is not always a linear path. It's filled with detours, delays, and course corrections. It's supposed to be. Keep pushing. Also, put your goals in writing. There's strength in getting your thoughts down on paper. Research has proven that individuals who put their goals in writing are much more likely to succeed. Why? Because putting it in writing makes it real. It generates commitment. And don't forget to celebrate small victories. Every step in the right direction is evidence that you're moving forward. Those little victories create momentum, give you confidence, and propel you onward. Acknowledge them. Enjoy them. They're bigger than you realize. Finally, don't get perfection and progress mixed up. Holding out to do everything perfectly before taking action will leave you frozen in place. Goals aren't about perfect implementation. They're about direction, application, and persistence. The individuals who thrive aren't necessarily the smartest. They're those who know what they desire and work each day to achieve it. Day after day. No exceptions. No waiting. So define your objectives. Make them specific. Make them personal. Divide them up. Record them. Then pursue them with dedication and determination. Your future is created by what you do today. Not sometime in the future. Today. It all starts in the mind. Your mind creates your beliefs. Your beliefs create your actions. And your actions create your life. That's why creating an unbreakable mind is not a choice. It's necessary. Life is going to challenge you. It's going to bring challenges your way. You're going to experience that setback, failures, rejection, and those times where you doubt everything. But here's the reality. You don't rise to the height of your dreams. You fall to the level of your mindset. A fragile mind breaks under pressure. A tough mind adjusts, perseveres, and conquers. So how do you develop a mind that can't be broken? It begins with the way you view adversity. A weak mind views failure as a cue to give up. A strong one views failure as feedback. It doesn't wonder, why me? But rather, what can I learn from that? It views setbacks not as roadblocks, but as detours that lead you to a superior path. Each obstacle you encounter is a chance to become better. But only if you let it. One of the most powerful tools for building a resilient mind is adopting a growth mindset. A growth mindset believes that abilities, intelligence, and skills can be developed through effort and learning. It's the opposite of a fixed mindset, which believes you're either born with it or you're not. Growth-oriented individuals don't shy away from challenges. They welcome them. They don't shirk failure. They learn from it. They know that pain is the cost of growth, and they're willing to pay that cost. Your mind is like seeds. What you sow is what you reap. If you feed yourself always doubt, fear, and negativity, you will harvest a life of hesitation and regret. But if you nourish your mind with strength, positivity, and possibility, you become invincible. Protect your mental space. Be mindful of what you let in. The books that you read, the content that you view, the people you're around, all influence your thinking. If you're surrounded by negativity on a regular basis, you'll think small. But if you're around vision, motivation, and belief, you'll begin to think big. And watch the self-talk. What you're saying to yourself is more important than you think. When you utter, I can't, your brain quits searching for solutions. But when you say, I will make it work, your brain gets busy. Talk to yourself the way you talk to someone you trust. Because you should. And don't forget this. Mental toughness is constructed with action. You don't read your way to resilience. You earn it. You construct it when you push forward when you've fallen. When you report to work on the tough days. When you remain disciplined, even when nobody is looking. Every time you do something difficult, you develop grit. Every time you don't give up, you develop endurance. Every time you bounce back, you reinforce the fact that nothing can break you. You don't have to be the best. You don't need the best background or the best circumstances. You just need the attitude that says, no matter what, I will keep going. That mentality is not common, but it can be trained. Nurture it. Make it stronger. Shield it. Because when you have it, you become an unstoppable force. You end up being like the individuals you're closest to. It's a cliché that's simple to neglect, yet its power is immense. Whether you know it or not, people around you are infecting you with their attitudes, habits, and belief systems. Each day, if you're wanting to grow, you have to be surrounded by the right stuff. Flat out. Take a look at your orbit. Are they sending you up or holding you down? Are they calling you out to level up or supporting your excuses? Are they driven, focused, and disciplined? Or do they spend more time complaining than building? This isn't about being arrogant or shutting people down without empathy. It's about alignment. Your surroundings either feed your ambition or suffocate it. Humans have a greater impact on us than we realize. Their energy, their attitude, even their expectations. These impact the way we think and act. If you spend your days around people who step up, who take action, and who stretch beyond comfort, you'll start to emulate those habits. But if you're spending your days around people who settle, who get by on autopilot, who blame excuses, that attitude will infuse itself in you as well. Here's the reality. You can't fly while holding on to anchors. That occasionally means releasing relationships that are no longer going to support your future. It's not a pleasant thing, but it needs to be done. Not everybody is designed to go where you are going, and that's all right. You can still be in love with people without letting them hold you back. Now, turn it around. Who do you look up to? Who has the discipline, the focus, and the mindset that you want to create? Find those individuals. Whether it's mentors, peers, coaches, or friends, surround yourself with individuals who are playing at a higher level. And don't worry if you don't know these individuals personally. Read their books. Listen to their interviews. Mimic their habits. Success leaves tracks. Notice them. One of the strongest things you can do is create an accountability circle. A community of people who won't allow you to give up. Who will call you out when you lose your way. Who will remind you of what you're working for when you forget why you started. When you surround yourself with others that demand more from you, you begin to demand more from yourself. Mentorship, too, is a game changer. A good mentor can compress time for you. They've already experienced mistakes, learned from them, and traverse the way. Their wisdom can cut years of experimentation and failure short. If you find someone who's ahead of you in the field you wish to develop, don't hesitate to ask. Be humble. Be inquisitive. Learn as much as possible. You're constructing something valuable. Your life. And just as you wouldn't construct a house on shaky soil, you wouldn't construct your dreams on shaky ground. Audit your network. Don't lie to yourself. Who tests you to become better? Who sucks the energy out of you? Who causes you to be a better person by just being present around you? Then make the tough decisions. Your potential is at stake. Because when you're with winners, you don't settle. Excellence becomes your expectation. And that changes everything. Time is your most precious asset. Unlike money, you can't make more of it. You can't borrow it, purchase it, or bank it for a later date. When it's gone, it's gone. And yet, people behave as if time were unlimited, wasting hours on unimportant matters, then questioning why they're stagnant. Here's the reality. You don't have more time. You need higher priorities. Each individual, regardless of achievement or desperation, is given the same 24 hours a day. The distinction between the people who win and those who lose isn't on the clock. It's in what they do with it. If you find yourself frequently thinking there's never enough time, begin by monitoring how you spend it. For 7 days, jot down everything you do, every meeting, every social media scroll, every project you work on. You'll be amazed at how much time is wasted on distractions, low-priority tasks, and mindless activities. When you're aware, you can take control. Ask yourself, what tasks bring me closer to my goals? What can I cut out or outsource? Where am I faking it and wasting time being busy? It's not about being busy. It's about being on purpose. Everyone gets this mixed up. People think movement equals progress. But you can run around in circles all day and not go anywhere. Productivity is not about doing more. It's about doing what is most important. Begin the day with purpose. Don't wish to be productive. Map out your day so that it is unavoidable. Utilize tools such as time blocking to designate certain hours for your highest priority work. Block distractions. Silence notifications. Establish an environment where concentration can exist. One powerful rule. Do the hardest task first. The thing you're dreading? Do it in the morning, when your energy is highest. This builds momentum and frees up mental space for the rest of the day. Putting it off only drains your energy with constant avoidance. Another resource. The 80-20 rule, Pareto principle. 80% of results in most fields are caused by 20% of efforts. Find that 20%. Invest there. And don't forget, the issue isn't always insufficient time. More often than not, it's insufficient clarity. When you don't know your priorities, you jump from project to project, respond to what's most urgent, and ask why nothing's getting done. Clarity brings direction. Direction builds momentum. Protect your time as if your life hinges on it. Because it does. Each minute spent on something that doesn't matter is a minute taken away from your dreams, your learning, and your destiny. Establish limits. Practice saying no. Not every invitation is worth your time. Not every request is worthy of a yes. Denying the wrong things allows you to affirm the right ones. Finally, stop seeking perfection. Done is superior to perfect. Many people spend too much time buffing things that don't require buffing. Success does not favor those who prepare forever, but those who take action. So honor your time with the dignity that it deserves. Schedule it. Guard it. Prioritize it. Because when you master time, you don't only get more done, you gain control of your life. And in that control, you find freedom. Failure. The very word alone can tighten your stomach. We're trained to shun it, to be afraid of it, to see it as a measure that proves we're not good enough. But here's the truth you must cling to. Failure is not the enemy of success. It's a component of it. If you look at the lives of the most successful individuals in the world, what you'll see is that they all failed, and many failed many times. It isn't that they didn't avoid failure, though. It's that they didn't quit when they experienced it. They utilized it. Far too many look at failure as a finish line. They attempt to do something, it doesn't pan out, and they quit. But failure isn't the end, it's information. It's feedback. It's your progress report, not your obituary. Consider failure as a mirror. It shows you what is working and what is not working. It tells you where you must do better, what you need to learn, what is hindering you. It makes your strategy more refined, makes your character more robust, and makes you stronger. The sole true failure is to quit before you learn the lesson. One of the reasons why failure is such a blow is because of how we've been conditioned to think about it. We're encouraged when we're young to get things right, to succeed the first time. But that's not the way growth really occurs in life. In life, you learn through doing it wrong, and through attempting again with a little bit more wisdom than last time. Consider Thomas Edison. When people asked him about all of his inventions that didn't work for the light bulb, he did not claim to have failed. Instead, he replied, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That is the attitude that distinguishes creators from quitters. The same is true for J.K. Rowling, rejected by several publishers prior to the fame of Harry Potter. Or Michael Jordan, who got cut from his high school basketball team. Or Steve Jobs, who got fired from the company he created before coming back and making it great. They didn't flee from failure. They stood in front of it and said, "What's next?" Here's the attitude change. Don't be afraid of failure. Anticipate it. Accept it. Let it teach you. Let it make you quicker, more acute, more resolute. The sooner you fail, the sooner you learn, and the sooner you move on. And here's the thing to remember. Failure is temporary. Regret is permanent. You'll bounce back from failure. You'll learn from it. But the regret of never having tried at all? That's the kind of hurt that sticks. So the next time you fail, don't give yourself a hard time. Think, learn, grow. Failure is not there to hold you back. It's there to mold you. Keep going forward. Keep attempting. Keep changing. Because if you keep learning from each setback, If you keep getting back up after each tumble, then each failure leads you closer to success. Failure is not the end of your book. It's the page that makes the ending great. There is a point in every journey, a silent but profound turning point, when you choose that enough is enough. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. This is the point of choice, and it shifts everything. Up until now, maybe you've been waiting for clarity, waiting for motivation, waiting for the perfect conditions. But here's the reality. The perfect moment doesn't exist. It never has. Life will always be busy. Fear will always whisper in the background. Uncertainty will always be part of the path. The distinction between individuals who live with intention and those who live with regret is not luck, talent, or brains. It's this. They chose. They chose to stop playing it small. Stop second-guessing. Stop following fear. They quit hoping and started acting. They seized control, not because they knew everything, but because they were fed up with waiting. And that's what you need to do. Decide, not a haphazard "I'll try," but a firm, deep down yes. A yes to doing it, to being present, to transforming how you are in the world. Consider how many individuals remain stuck in habits that do not benefit them. They profess that they desire change, yet when the moment arrives to take action, they stall. They think too much. They second-guess themselves. They freeze up over what-ifs and not-yets. But those who make it, they step out, even in fear. They don't wait to feel confident. They develop confidence by taking action. They don't wait to be prepared. They become prepared by taking action. Confidence, clarity, and momentum don't come first. They are created by them. Here's the tough reality. Procrastination is a choice. Whenever you delay, you're opting to remain the same. You're opting for stagnation and saying no to progress. Each day you don't move is another day you might have been closer to your ideal life. So ask yourself, what are you waiting for? You don't have to have it all worked out. You don't have to make a huge leap. You just have to make a move. One step, one task, one action. Because as soon as you make a move, momentum steps in. And momentum is a force to be reckoned with. It turns hesitation into habit, fear into confidence, and doubt into belief. This is your time. Now, commit to no longer settling. Commit to no longer being driven by fear, distractions, or excuses. Commit to this time. Follow through. Because when you commit, your energy shifts. Your intention becomes clear. Your path starts to open up. You don't have to wait to feel ready. You simply have to begin. Let today be the line you draw in the sand. The day you stopped living on autopilot and began living on purpose. The day you decided on action instead of excuses. The day you decided on your future instead of your fear. This is it. Choose, do, become.